Hello. What's good, everybody? Holy smokes, 24 seconds? How's it been on for 24 seconds? Uh-oh. Somebody's coming in doing the Jefferson. Bringing the love. Oh, what's good today, Andy?
I'm feeling great coming off my victory.
And what victory would that be?
Man, I crushed it in our daily fantasy or weekly fantasy league. I mean, I won that thing by, 20 points?
Oh, man. Yeah, I didn't, after I saw where I was at, I didn't even really look at the details or the particulars, so to speak. I was like, look at.
Well, I'll let you know right now, you finished just ahead of my wife, who knows nothing about football.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of fantasy. Anybody can win. Doesn't matter. You never know who it was. I think I was my own worst enemy. It's like knowing what you were going to do and then trying to like counter that with something else. And then, flip the coin between Kamara and McCaffrey, and that came up wrong. Dalvin Cook lost his mind again. And good Lord, Mahomes remembered that he was Mahomes. It's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But, I mean, as long as we're taking bragging rights, I guess we can go to the pick'ems last week. And, hey, welcome back to the winning side. Our man Andy went 7 for 6 last week, so bravo. Well done. But your boy is back on track and back like he was doing, like we usually get down. And the DJ went 12-1. And, of course, the only game I did not pick right last week was the freaking Seahawks. I cannot believe they let me down like that. I could have won 100% if my own boys didn't let me down like that. It was just bitter. Oh, man, so punishing. What do you got going on there in the chat? What's that you just put in for everybody?
This is the league. So this one will be going, it's 10 teams, so whoever gets in first. I was going to do 12, but since I had to fill in last week's with my wife, I figured I'll just do 10, and whoever joins, right? So if you're catching this, hopefully we can put it in the comments or whatever. And anybody who wants to join, this is every week you'll be picking your team just like we did last week. It's daily fantasy style. $200 salary cap.
And it's totally free. It doesn't cost anything to do. And I will make sure that this gets down in the description. So for everybody that watches later, because I know doing this through StreamYard, for some reason the chat doesn't come up when you do the replay. What's up, JD? I see you out there. What's good, Jake Cruz? Welcome back. So you guys had to wait so long. Just had to get on some family stuff, and yeah, Andy doesn't even know it. I was running almost as late as he was, so let's just make him feel bad for being super late. Things got a little crazy there at the end. But, hey, we're here now, and that's what is important. So, yeah, Andy, when it comes to your fab leagues and spending money on teams, it looks like you definitely want to listen to Andy. And when it comes to picking the right teams who's going to win, come on with the DJ, because that seems like where it's at. Hey, 12-1, I'm taking all bragging rights. I'm not even feeling bad about that fab thing. It was the first time I'd ever done one, and, yeah, we have a pretty quick, steep learning curve to get over, I guess.
Yeah, it's all about how you spend the money. And, Yahoo's is a little weird because their minimum is $10, and other ones don't necessarily have that. There's no minimum. There might be like $2 players out there, but whatever. I just set it up because it was easy. I know it's easy to make an account with them because you can link any email. So that's why I did the Yahoo one. Make it easier. We got the league set up.
There we go. Now we'll get it in. Yeah, I already had a couple of my buddies asking about that if we were doing that again. So they're like, oh, we got to get it done Thursday. I was like, yeah, we do our stream on Saturday, so you're never going to have a chance at Thursday players. It's just kind of what it is. It's going to have to deal with these. I notice it doesn't have, like, all the teams either. Like, what did they take out, like, the worst teams or the most obvious ones and, like, take those away? Like, I've noticed, like, they don't have the defenses that are playing the Jets, or they didn't have the defense that was playing the Jets.
Yeah.
Are they going to take that away kind of thing, or?
I don't know. I was looking at it. Last week it wasn't like that. I think maybe because it's a league. I'm not sure. So
Might have been a random thing. We'll have to check and see how it goes this week.
Yep.
Feel it. I know. I was thinking that was maybe another thing we can do once we get some people in here is maybe I'll pick like 5 of what I think are the hardest teams, and we'll just do a pick them, see who gets the most right. Like see who gets the most right out of the 5 teams. Just do something like that, and it's something a little quicker and easier for everybody to get in, and one more way to win in fantasy, because that's what it's all about, having a good time and trying to pick the right decisions. Yeah, 12-1. That would have been amazing if the Seahawks could have pulled that off, and I could have won 13-1. The grossest part is I was just in Vegas last week, and I placed no bets. I mean, I would have drilled it on some parlays. It would have been amazing. I don't know what I was thinking. But, yeah, I drove 22 hours from here, and I was dead tired, and I basically just slept, got up, and drove some more. So that was about it. Stopped at the Total Wine and got the brand new McAllen. That was my big Vegas victory. Because they don't have it up here yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about because I don't drink.
Exactly. So what's a man like you going to do this week for all our fantasy owners out there that have Mahomes on a bye week? What do we do if we didn't have a backup quarterback, or if we're in a 2-quarterback system? What are we picking up? How are we going to handle that situation this week?
Well, I'm kind of bummed out because my strategy was that Jalen Hurts was going to be starting by this week. I figured Wentz would be Hurts. So I've had Hurts stashed on my bench forever. But
two quarterback bench?
I have
Wentz would be hurt.
Yeah, so I'm kind of screwed there. And like Tannehill's my second, so he didn't do great this week. So I'm gonna be kind of sucking. But that's all right. I'll go, since it's a super flex for my 2-quarterback league. I'll just put in, a wide receiver. I think I'll end up putting Will Fuller in as my super flex. So not bad, not great, but.
Well, Will Fuller's got some. He might have some weather issues to deal with. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't have much options with all the injuries and stuff this week or this year, and I just got to go with it. That's my thing.
And come on. Are we really ever benching Will Fuller?
Yeah, I bench him all the time. He's my super flex.
Do you really?
Yeah, wide receiver, I got a bunch since it's a 2-quarterback league. Will Fuller is not. I have Tannehill and Mahomes. He's typically not outscoring them, so that's why.
Nice. Yeah, JD, go up and look. Andy already hit the link in there, and then let us know if you have any problems. Then just hit us on Hangouts, and we'll make sure we get it to you. Or throw in your email, and Andy can give you the invite. But, yeah, it's up there right now, so you should be able to link right through there. So, yeah, anybody who comes in, just scroll up through the chat, and you can get in that way. First come, first serve. And, yeah, I already know there's some people waiting. So, if you want to do it, make sure you get in there. Absolutely. Not in Washington. What did I miss? Sportsbook shut now. Yeah, we don't. Not in Washington. We can't do that. Oh man, hope you feel better, JD. Hope you feel better out there. Oh man, so what? So Tannehill's going to do good, and you're just ready to eat it. Is that who you put in for your second quarterback?
Well, Tannehill did not do good.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't do well. So is that who you already put in, or?
I had to. He's my quarterback with Mahomes out. And, it's not that big of it's a big loss. But Mahomes hasn't been playing like Mahomes the past few weeks. He did last week and did it for me. But, the weeks before that, he was just like every other quarterback. He didn't do anything special. So it's not that big of a loss with Will Fuller going in. Hopefully Michael Thomas does something. If that works out, it's perfect, but it's not that bad. But it ain't great.
Who has more fantasy points this week, Michael Thomas or Alvin Kamara?
I'm gonna go with Kamara, but I would like for it to be Thomas.
The heart wants, but the brain says.
Yeah, I could tell you if I'm playing against Kamara. If I'm playing against Kamara on any league, it's definitely going to be him.
Oh,
that's my usual go-to.
Yeah, You're like wearing off on me. That's kind of bad. I got to do something to brush that mojo off. The last 2 weeks since you cried about that, I've had the most points scored on me. I had to play against Devontae Adams and Brett Favre. Then I had to play against Dalvin Cook. I mean, I'm just playing the monsters every single week. You're rubbing off. I got to get that off. Snap that voodoo.
Wait, you played against Brett Favre?
Last 2 weeks ago, I played Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers. Hey, and for everybody out there, I mean, I did the same thing last week. It's like I'm pretty sure Andy's the same way. We have no stat sheets in front of us. I don't have any pages and names. I don't have any numbers. We're doing this all from the brain, all from memory. So when I get like Curtis Samuel and Corey Davis and get the teams mixed up like last week, like I was like, you're like, oh, I think that's like, dude, that just happens. Like we don't have stat sheets and pages and pages. Like this is just two guys having a good time talking about some fantasy football, like all from memory. So yeah, there's going to be a little slip ups here and there, and already feeling a little toasty, so there's that. So hey, I mean, we do it. So yeah, anybody that freaks out and has to be perfect, this might not be the channel for you. But like I said, I just went 12-1 on my picks, and he just smashed his fab by 1,000,000 points. So we're a couple idiots, but we do know a little something. So take the good with the bad is all I got to say about that.
All I say is don't listen to me. That's my big thing. Like, because I might win at things, but it's only because I changed my mind at the last moment. So I might say something on here and then change my mind right before the game, and then it pays off for me. So to be fair, don't listen to me. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, always go with your gut. I mean, we're just here to, to give a couple. Hey, I mean, you never know. A lot of them are flip them and pick 'ems. You never know who's going to have the game. You never know who's going to know who's going to blow up. A lot of times you just got to go with your gut and go with your feeling. Look at the weather sometimes. I mean, if you're up and around and you can, make sure you're checking, all your players 90 minutes before. That's a big one. Make sure you're checking your lineup 90 minutes. Look at our man in the background just getting the Jefferson in. There's the Jefferson. It's so sick. Oh, man, that's hilarious. But, yeah, make sure you're checking your lineup 90 minutes before game time. Make sure nobody got a weird injury. Somebody got sick. Somebody got put, especially this year, somebody got snapped on the COVID, and all of a sudden they're sitting. You just make sure you're checking your team and make sure everybody's playing and healthy and ready to go. And go with your first gut instinct. There's been too many times where all of a sudden I went in and all of a sudden it was raining and I got nervous and switched it. Go with your first gut instinct, because every time that I've switched it right before the games when both people were healthy, and then I switch it right before game time, it's the wrong decision every time. So my advice would be go with your first instinct. That usually is the right one. Oh, man, is he going to come in one more time? One more time? Oh, we got the pups. We got the pups and the Jeffers. Oh, man. Yeah, we got to ask our man who's going to be better this week. Who's the better receivers? We got some tough calls going this one. Tough calls going this week.
All right. Sorry about that. My dog, indecisive.
Oh, not a problem. So for all those people that had Travis Kelce that went on bye this week, what do they do? What's the number one pickup off waivers? Who do you think's got a chance of coming back?
I think it's later in the season, possibly Higbee does something, which I would be happy about that if Higbee does, because I'm using him in one of my games. But so I'm a little biased, and maybe if Hunter Henry's out there, like he probably isn't, but if he is, he might do something.
He might. More likely somebody on waiver wires. I think I would go with somebody like Robert Tonyan. I know Tonyan, he hasn't done anything. He kind of had a big blow-up game and then hasn't really done anything for anybody since then. But, I think this could be a week he comes back, especially if they're dealing with the weather like they kind of think they might be. I think, the short dump off pass to Tonyan, I think Tonyan could be a big factor this week. Nobody's really talking about him, but, again, just one of those gut feelings. I think Robert Tonyan might be a big pickup, and he's on most people's waivers because he hasn't been doing anything for the last couple of weeks. And I don't know why. I also have a gut feeling about Logan Thomas for the Washington football team. I just kind of feel, you got Alex Smith, who's, he's kind of into just short dump down passes. It doesn't seem like he ever throws more than 10 yards. Who's going to be within that 10 yards every single play? his tight end. Logan Thomas is going to be a big part of that. So I think Logan Thomas is on a lot of people's waiver wires, and I think he might have himself a game this week.
See, you're the tight end guy. You're the guy. Dude, I will stream tight ends all day. If you don't have one on the top 3, I might as well stream them. Like, that's – I don't know.
Well, let's go there. You got to say your top 2 you're going to say are Kelsey and Waller, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah, I'd say – well, previously – so we're going Kelsey, Waller, and what's his name from San Francisco?
Well, yeah, Kittle.
Kittle, jeez,
not even a factor. So say Kittle isn't a factor. You already got Waller and Kelsey as your top 2. Who's your 3 through 5 this year?
Shit, that's what I'm talking about. The 3, one of them's hers. So I don't even have, I have a top 2 now. You have Kelsey and Waller for me. Jonnu was doing that at the beginning. He's fallen off. So who do you even put behind him that's killing it
week by week? I think this week. I mean, a lot of people are predicting Noah Fant to have a big game. A lot of people are predicting old boy from Denver to just go off this week. I don't know why. I mean, like I said, I was driving last week, so I didn't get to see it. All I did was hear it over the radio. But it sounded like he threw 1 million passes to Jerry Jeudy, and he dropped 999,000 of them. So it's like. It was insane, dude. I don't understand. Like, did the guy just have brick fingers? Was he not open? But seems like he threw 1 million passes to him and he dropped all of them but 3. Who has the bigger game this week out there between Tim Patrick and Jerry Jeudy?
I always go with targets, so I'm gonna go with Jeudy. I like targets because it's only a matter of time before they start catching them. Right, Jeudy gets a lot of balls his way. So,
JD wishes Denver would play more than the fourth quarter. Hey, I mean, whatever it takes to win. I mean, a win's a win, right? I mean, yeah, it sucks you got to wait that long, but I mean, if he keeps pulling it out like he did against the Chargers, and I mean, they seem to be on an uptick. I mean, Broncos have been crap all year, and they really seem to be kind of getting it together. A few guys are getting healthy, but. I don't know, man. It's the Broncos. It just seems like they're going to self-implode at one point or another. But, yeah, Jay Cruz, I agree. I think Denver gets a little better each week.
Well, how they started, it's hard not to.
Oh, man. Speaking of getting a little bit better each and every week, we had Austin Eckler posted a tweet of him running at pretty much full speed. Do you think he makes it back before the fantasy playoffs?
Maybe the last week, maybe, it's going to be tough for anybody that has him that's borderline on making the playoffs. He comes off IR, and then let's say it's your last game of the regular season. Do you start him? And that's going to be your question.
We've always said, though, I mean, it seems like they really ride the player that's off of injury. They really give him the biggest workload. So if that's the case, absolutely, especially with the shit fest that's been going on in their backfield. So, yeah, absolutely, I'd say you start him if he comes back. If they say he's healthy enough to play, you absolutely start him. Guy just balls out of control when he's on the field.
Yep.
But, yeah, that's scary when you need to get into the playoffs. That's a scary situation.
Because that's the thing, though, right? They'll ride them or they won't do anything at all. It's they prematurely came back and maybe they get a couple snaps. That's what I always worry about is that couple snaps.
Yep. Oh, the struggle between locking the coordinator. They don't move the ball, and then bam, they're alive scoring 3 to 4 TDs in the fourth quarter. I get it. WTF. It's frustrating. Hey, the Seahawks have had to pull a couple nail biters off in that fourth quarter and lost a couple nail biters. I'll tell you what, that Arizona Seahawks game is still the best game of the season. That was absolutely amazing. And except for now, I'm sitting here right before here, I was watching the replay of the Miami-Arizona game. Holy shnikes. I mean, outside of Miami, I have to be one of me and my man Jake Cruz, I'm sure he had my back with it, but I think we had to be some of the only people outside of Miami that made that call. Oh, it's Tua time. You absolutely have to believe. How good is my man Tua just getting better and better every week? I mean, what's he going to do this week?
Probably not much.
Battle of the rookies, and you think Hubert just embarrasses him, and who Tua has no answer?
I mean, we're not saying no answer, but if you could pick a quarterback, who are you picking?
Tua.
Dude, you're crazy. You are crazy, or you're just bald-faced lying. Dude, Herbert is crazy. Like, he's crazy.
Good, so is that Miami Dolphins D.
Yeah, but we're talking about if you were picking quarterbacks. I'm not saying – and I'm saying I still think Herbert gets 3 touchdowns this week.
I'll say 2.
Okay, well, so 3 versus 2.
Right.
Still.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, Hubert is balling out of control. He's definitely the number 1 rookie quarterback this year. But, I mean, Tua, he's coming in late, but he is coming on strong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's terrible. He didn't do much the first game, so it's not hard for him to do better the second game, but they will, win's a win. It's not about let's see how great our quarterback is, because Herbert, dude, he's an amazing quarterback, but they still get beat. So that's the thing. It doesn't matter to me.
That's true. Speaking of amazing quarterbacks, does Tom Brady go Brady this week and have a huge get-right game?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to expect him to come back after that performance. Holy smokes. I did not see that one coming at all. Like, just a total blow. I always like the Saints defense. I think they're generally pretty good, but God dang, son.
That was something. That was awesome is what that was. Are you kidding me? Oh, I loved every minute of it, and I wish they would have just gotten punished. I mean, they did get punished, but I mean, I wish it was even more.
Well, you hate Brady or Tampa Bay?
I don't really care one way or the other about Tampa Bay, but yeah, it's the other TV I'm not the biggest fan of. Being a Miami fan, he broke my heart too many times, and then he broke the Seahawks. It's like, oh, he's just bad everywhere you go. And then I have him in my fantasy one. I don't ever have Jets or Bills or Patriots on my team. That's just a thing. Being a Dolphin fan for my fantasy team, I just don't do it. But Brady was too hot one year. I had to have him, put him in. He killed it for me, got me all the way through the playoffs, scoring 40 burgers all year long. Put him in for the Fantasy Bowl. All I needed was 12 points from him, and he got me 8. 8 points. I lost my mind, dude. That's what I get for playing a Patriot. I mean, if Tom Brady can, he finds a way to screw me in one way or the other. Dolphins, Seahawks, fantasy, it doesn't matter. Tom Brady finds a way to ruin me. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I don't ever pick Tom Brady either in fantasy. Like, I'll never pick him up. Even though he's always decent, he's like a steady quarterback generally. Yeah, I always never picked him because he might not be there when you need him in the Super Bowl. Like, if you're playing in the Super Bowl, I had it, though, probably the second year that I picked him. I had him the year before, and he did great. He was not playing the last 2 games of the season. And that's when I finally realized, like, oh, shit, well, now, like, we are moving our playoffs up sooner. You have to get an experience like that where you're like, damn, that's crazy, where you're in the Super Bowl and,
you want to play out when you're new. You're like, oh, well, why wouldn't I play all the weeks? It's more fun. You get more play in. You don't realize, well, you don't do that because then all of a sudden your star players are sitting and resting for the real playoffs. It's like, yeah.
And I still am in one league that's like that plays all the way, but it's more fun. It's fun to pick planning for that because then you have to like try to predict who's going to win. And based on our picking of games, you can see how bad I do in that league once it hits playoff time. So
I don't know who's going to have the better game. Oh, Jay Cruz got it right, too. Had a couple impressive scrambles in that last game, man. He looked good. And he is also not afraid to throw in the pressure. I agree. Got to love me some Tua. Everybody was kind of sitting on the fence, didn't know what to do. But I tell you what, I'm all in. It is all about the Tua time. Tua is better than good. I'll tell you that.
I think he's good. I don't think he's I need more to see him. Like if you look at Mariota versus the Bucks, the first game, he looked amazing. So I was at that game as a Titans fan. I was like, yes, freaking Titans got Mariota and the Bucks got Winston, and we made the right decision, right? Or worked out. It did not work out.
It didn't work out for either team, so there's that.
Yeah. So to me, like I got to see a few more games because as a Titan fan, I lived through Mariota, who you saw similar things, and I just want to wait on him.
Mariota's on Where Are They Now, and Winston's probably about to get himself a Super Bowl ring, so there's that. Oh, man, it's just been crazy out there. 2020, what are you doing? Is George Kittle worth keeping on your roster?
Yeah, I mean, you're the tight end guy. Like, I don't know if you have him, he's the number one tight end, so you're probably keeping him. You find a slot for him if you can.
Only because he may or may not. I mean, basically, you're just planning on making the Fantasy Bowl and using him in the Fantasy Bowl. That's literally the only reason to keep him. If you think you're going to make the Fantasy Bowl and you got a legitimate shot, then you got to keep him for just that, because that's basically when he comes back to Artist, if he comes back at all this year. And San Fran, man, they're so up and down. Who knows what's going to happen? If they don't end up having a shot, I think they'll just keep him down. It's crazy. Oh, but how are you feeling as a Titan? Go ahead.
But generally, I think that most leagues probably have an IR slot by now. Yeah, like, so you have them in your IR.
Exactly.
Or you could.
Don't drop them, and then of course not. You just stick them in IR and just wait it out. But as a Titan fan, how are you feeling this Thursday?
Terrible. I mean, like I said, I'm a Titans fan. Here's the order of my sports things that I care about: Florida State, fantasy football, then the Titans. So I'm more bummed that Tannehill and Henry didn't do shit than the fact that the Titans lost. I think the Colts are pretty good. They got a good defense.
Very good defense.
That division is pretty good this year as far as those two teams, I think, the Titans and Colts. But I don't know. I hate the Colts generally, but just because.
I don't really care either way about them, but I will say I know how good their defense is. So I saw last week that somebody dropped Wentz after his really bad game, and I knew Tannehill had the Colts coming up. So I picked him up and stashed him through his bye week because they dropped him 2 weeks ago. I picked him up, stashed him through the bye week because I knew I was going to have to play him this week. And let's make sure – fingers crossed that was the right decision. But, yeah, I mean, I saw it coming. I knew Tannehill was going to be off this game. I mean, these guys are too bad. I thought about doing what I was talking about and picking up Logan Thomas or Tunyon for this week. But I was like, you know what? Shanee's been getting healthier and healthier. He's the go-to guy. Dude, if Tannehill gives him a catchable ball in the end zone, he has an amazing game. He's damn near 20 points. You know, he's right there at 17, 18 fantasy points. If he catches that ball. If he catches that deep throw, he's the same thing. So, I mean, if Tannehill could have got him a couple of those balls and made him more catchable. And, I mean, that end zone, that was partly him. He needs to block that player off, use that big body and kind of shield that player off. But he didn't even know he was there. That guy came from nowhere on him. But, yeah, I mean, you know, if Tannehill gets a couple of those balls a little more catchable, I mean, Sanu had an amazing game. And the fact everybody's talking about dropping him or he's not as good as he used to be, like I've been saying every week, he had a high ankle sprain. The fact that the man was on the field is nuts. He shouldn't have been playing. Most people are sitting. He toughed it out, played through it. Now he's getting healthier and healthier, and they're using him more. So I'm all in on Jonnu, man. I think Jonnu Smith is going to be doing it. I didn't drop him. I kept him, and I'm riding it out with him. And he still got me 9.5 points. So for a tight end this year, are you really going to complain about that?
No. I mean, I like Jonnu, so, you know, I'm not going to complain. He did it for me at the beginning of the season. Hopefully, and I think he'll get better again. Like, he'll get the more targets, but hopefully Higbee comes on too. For everybody, like the trade deadline normally will be like next week, right? For most teams.
20th.
For mine, it's the 21st. So just so you know, if you're thinking about trading anybody, now is your last chance this week.
Welcome, Kashif Mustafa. I already have Mahomes at WB, so what do you think trading Justin Herbert and Clyde for Joe Mixon? I just don't like you can go ahead, but I don't like trading for a hurt player. I don't like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Joe Mixon's been pretty good before his injury, but nothing spectacular.
And Hubert's killing it. I was just talking a lot of smack earlier about him, but Hubert's killing it. And I mean, I like CEH. I don't know. I don't like that trade. I don't like trading for hurt players. You never know what's going to happen and how hurt they are and how well they're going to recover. And you don't want to trade healthy, somebody that's getting production who's the number one running back for a hurt player. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that one. Fantasy should go into the NFL playoffs, so you have to scramble if your players don't make it. Yeah, that's a little harder, but it makes you think ahead. You got to be a little better general manager if you do it that way.
I mean, if we keep going, if we do like a fun league, you can do – there's different kind of leagues where you basically it does an overall score of like the whole playoff system. You pick your players at the beginning, and each week they make it through the playoffs. Their points double for the next week. So, and then it does a cumulative score. It's a lot of fun. We do those. So if we're talking about playoff stuff, we can do that.
Feel it. So, yeah, for everybody that doesn't know yet, if you look up and later on in the description, I'll have it. But first come, first serve, we're doing just a little fun playoff thing. It's through Yahoo. And, $200, pick your best team. And we see who has the best points. Andy, of course, crushed it last week. And, just having a little fun with that. And we'll have something for the winner here at the end of the season. See who does the best. Unless it's Andy because he's done it before. Then we're just going to get a plastic trophy and say choke on
it. Yeah, but it's just picking the best player. That's all it is. I mean, there's a little bit of strategy into the money. Like DJ had the right idea. He knew that I was picking Dalvin Cook. He knew that I thought he was going to be the highest scoring player this week. So he had the right idea in that, but the only problem is you got to pick someone that performs almost as well if you're going to make the money thing work out. So that's Dalvin Cook killed it. He won by so much, you basically had to pick him to win.
Exactly. Yeah, he was ridiculous. What's up, JR? Welcome. Andy, pick 2, Hunt Evans or Shepard, full PPR.
I'm going to pick – dang, this is that one like Chubb coming back.
Hunt usually does better with Chubb in though.
Yeah, but I think just volume. Like I'm gonna go with Hunt and Evans just because I think that Brady is gonna have he's gonna have a comeback game. Like obviously it's not as great with Evans in a PPR. They're better wide receivers in Tampa for PPR, but still, Evan's going to get some carries. He's going to get some touchdowns. I have faith that Brady's going to have a better game. This is when I have no skin in, so I don't have any of these players in my league, so take that into account. That it doesn't affect me. But I would pick
I think it's a lot easier than that. It's Hunt and Evans. I mean, just like you said, it's just that easy. Daniels, New York needs a new quarterback. He's terrible. He's absolutely awful. Shepard's going to do better than Slayton if that's one of your questions. But other than that, I mean, I think it's a non-factor. Hunt and Evans all day, even in a full PPR.
I was rambling because you went on screen. I got to ramble. But once you get the ball rolling – the boulder's rolling downhill. It's got.
Welcome, Chamoa. Thoughts on JT Colts backfield? Oh man, it's an absolute nightmare. I got Jonathan Taylor myself, and yeah, it's an absolute nightmare. I sat him this week because again, I just didn't like it. I sat Jonathan Taylor and Tannehill. The only one I played was Jonnu Smith because, like I said, Jonnu almost balled out. If he gets either one of those catches, he puts almost a 20 burger, which for a tight end is balling out of control. So I'm not mad. I love that that's who Tannehill looks for first. Even with A.J. Brown on the field, that's who he was looking for in the red zone. So I'm all in on Jonnu Smith. Like I said, everybody was down on him. He was hurt. He shouldn't have even been on the field. They were taking it easy. They weren't throwing to him because they didn't want him to get even more hurt. He was basically a decoy. So all back in on Jonnu. I had 2 bum receivers, 0 points. Ouch! How do you go over with receivers? That's tough. I mean, my receivers have been a nightmare, but they haven't been that bad. Oh, here's a nightmare scenario. Who do you pick this week, Mike Evans or DJ Shark?
Oh, and that's a tough one because what's his name can chuck that ball, right? Like, oh, and that's who you're going with.
But we don't know. I mean, the ceiling seems way higher, but again, they're talking about the weather being a huge factor in that game. That's going to affect the big downfield balls. It's going to matter whether old boy from Green Bay, he's still on concussion protocol and hasn't practiced all week. So, if he's in, he's going to be a shutdown corner and he's going to shut Shark down for their number 1 receiver. If he's not in, that opens up the floodgates. But again, you got to deal with the weather. And we have Bruce Arians down there talking about Mike Evans is open. Tom Brady needs to get him the ball. And when your head coach starts yelling in the media about you need to get a player the ball, don't you get that player the ball the next week?
Yeah, but see, it's Bruce Arians, right? You think he's smart enough to say, like, Godwin's coming back, right? So
he's already back, yeah.
So does that open up Godwin for you? Like, now you got a coach telling you, hey, we're going to start throwing to this player, and he is your down the field guy. Don't you think that – I mean, I would be planning on throwing more to Godwin if I told that to the media.
Because now everybody's going to be keying in on Evans?
Because even if the coaches coach it, that's not all happening immediately on the field. It's hard when you're playing a sport to, like, go against your instincts and let your head take over. Like, this is the smart play. When you heard the coach say, I'm going to start throwing the ball to Evans. It's hard to go against that. I could tell you 100% it's hard doing that. So in the moment. So maybe he's just setting up the Godwin thing, but maybe not. Maybe not.
That's something I'm just going with back and forth. I mean, I still have a flex, and it's just like, do I play Evans, Shark? And then I got Curtis Samuel. So I'm basically I just can't sit Curtis Samuel. That guy's been balling out of control, put up 26 points for me last week. I mean, I love how all the analysis out there are like, oh, you should put him in. You got to put him in. I was like, why weren't you telling us all that last week? Why did we have to flip a coin and figure it out ourselves? If you guys are such great analysts, why weren't you telling me about Curtis Samuel in the lineup last week before he put up 26 points? Now he puts up 26. Everybody's like, oh, yes, and by the way, I love Curtis Samuel. You got to put him in your – dude, come on. If you had told me that last week, I'd be like, yeah, you're good at your job. You're telling me that all you're doing is chasing points. I can look at a thing and see who scored the most and tell people to go get that. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? It's like, get the hell out of here with that. Oh, man, William Fuller. We got Will Fuller, a sell high at fantasy trade deadline, or should I keep him? I'm keeping Will Fuller. I have him on my league. It's not even a thought in my brain. They have him it depends on where you look. They have him ranked like the 11th or 13th best this year. We already have Ben Watson saying if they would have traded him to Green Bay, all hell would have broke loose in Houston. Like, that's his guy. Like, I don't think you trade a Will Fuller. I think you keep him. I think he takes you through the fantasy. He'll be a big part of a lot of people's championship teams this year. What do you think, Andy?
Deshaun Watson. And yeah. But I don't know. Like, I might trade him. Depends on what's out there. What do I need? Like me, I've been sitting him like every once in a while because I have receivers. And now if I could trade him for someone with better value relative to position, that's how I always look at trades. So sometimes you can catch people when they're just looking at points and they see an equal trade of, these guys are both scoring they both have 70 points on the season. But you don't look at it like that.
Would you trade Will Fuller for Zeke?
If I didn't have a running back, I would.
Would you trade him for Josh Jacobs?
If I didn't have a running back, I would. Yeah. Me personally, in my league, yes, I would. I have him, and I would do that.
Because you have enough receivers on your team. So basically,
I have nobody. I have Devontae Freeman starting in my because.
So yeah, you need running back. So in your situation, yeah. But still, I don't know. I don't get rid of a Will Fuller. He puts up points every game. He's Watson's number one guy. I mean, yeah, I don't know how you get rid of a Will Fuller. That's a guy who's going to help take you through a championship. Absolutely. Jake Cruz says there's 16 terrible quarterbacks in this league. You just got to play matchups sometimes and pick the right ones. Yeah. Because, like I said, I mean, you just got to catch somebody slipping. Yeah, I mean, somebody and who knows if I caught him slipping. I might be an idiot, but I think there's a lot of upside. Like I said, somebody dumped Wentz on when he did terrible 2 weeks ago. I picked him up, knew he was on a bye week. I stashed him, and then I knew Tannehill had a rough one this week, so I stashed him last week, and I'm playing him this week. And he's got a lot of weapons coming back. So if he can quit turning the ball over, I mean, he's been rushing. He's on pace to run. He's on pace to rush for almost 400 yards this year. I mean, he's been doing it. He's been doing it with his legs and his arm. If he can just not turn the damn ball over, quit throwing interceptions, the guy can put up a 40-burger for you, every 3 weeks. So 3 out of 4 weeks. So, yeah, we shall see. We shall see. I have McKinnon and D. Johnson sitting Drake. Yeah, Drake, we don't even know if he's going to come back and play. I mean, he's still a big question mark for this game. A lot of people think Duke Johnson's going to go absolutely bonkers this week. What do you think, Andy?
Man, I've been high on Duke Johnson like every season since he played in the league, and he never does it. So I'm never, I'm sure the year I give up on him, well, he's already done better this year than like every other year prior. So I don't know. I can't deal with Duke Johnson. I really like the guy's running back in college, which is tough for me because he's, Miami. But he ran so good and nothing in the pros, at least from, not what he could have done. So I am not.
So you say you're not in on him this week. Who slides in and has a bigger fantasy game this week? Duke Johnson for Houston or Mike Davis for Carolina?
Mike Davis.
That's what I thought. I had my chance to pick up either one off waiver pretty much, and I picked up Mike Davis. I kind of think, he was off for a couple of weeks, but I don't know. I think he slides right back in and just crushes it this week. That's my thoughts. Fingers crossed. I think Philip Lindsay, I just don't know how he's still doing after that concussion. His foot's all messed up. It's like, I love Philip Lindsay, but I'm just a little nervous to start him this week. Split backfield with Melvin Gordon still. I don't know. I usually love Lindsay in this situation, but I think I just got to go Mike Davis. Who do you like, Lindsay or Mike Davis?
I'm going to go with Mike Davis still. I have Lindsay, so I'm going to say that he's not going to perform.
Who has a bigger game this week, McKinnon or McKissick?
I'm going to go. Man, McKinnon will have the bigger game.
Think McKinnon's going to do a bigger game?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I actually like McKissick in that one. I think we got to write that one down. That's our next one. Who do you think is going to be the closest game this year? Who's the toughest game to pick this week?
Miami versus LA, probably, for me.
You think that's your toughest one?
Well, or you could go, what is it, Baltimore, New England? They're playing, right?
Really? I think Baltimore just smashes on that one.
You would think. So we'll know in the picks, I will be picking New England then.
Yeah, Ingram comes back. We got Chow asking thoughts on Goddard rest of season.
I like him. I mean, he's going to do good this week probably because they're playing against New York. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, tight ends, if you don't have a top 3 guy, then you are just as good streaming. I mean, that's in reality, that's not necessarily true, but I think I don't know, tight end position, it's too valuable up at that top.
Is old boy really out for the rest of the season? The tight end for the Eagles?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh wow! I thought he. I didn't. Yeah, I thought he was IR. I didn't know he was out rest of the season. That's rough. Rest of the season. I mean, like I said, I mean, I picked up Wentz for this exact situation. Alshon Jeffries, he's coming back, but we don't know what he's going to do. Man, you got the 2 F-bombs out there that are both going to be catching passes. So, but we already know that Wentz loves throwing to his tight end. So yeah, I mean, if you picked up Goddard, I think you're in a real, like I said, with the shit show that the tight end position is this year, I think you're in a great spot if you were able to pick up Goddard. I think that's going to be one of the better pickup wires. Maybe not quite up there with James Robinson, but up there. It's either D. Johnson or Singletary, who hasn't done anything. Oh, dude. I mean, if you have either one, if you have any Bills running backs, just is there any reason to hold the Bills running back on your squad, Andy?
I mean, I guess you're hoping for like Singletary to come back and show you what he showed you. I don't know. How many teams are in this league? 24? Like, that's all I could think is like, dang. I mean, I'm just joking because that looks like my running back situation. Like I said, I got Freeman starting my league.
Okay. I got plenty of running backs, and it's not doing me any favors. So, I mean, dude, it's just rough this year. It is just tough. But in this situation, I don't think it's a question. I think Duke Johnson all day over Singletary. I'm not as down on Duke as Andy is over there. I think Duke Johnson's going to ball out of control. I just think Mike Davis is going to do a little bit better, but I think Duke Johnson's going to have a great game. Absolutely.
Well, like I said, I think Duke Johnson's an amazing running back. He can just never put it together for me when I need him to. So I thought he was going to do great last year, but he did not.
It wasn't so much for you, huh? Oh, man. Josh Allen's crushing it. Who's going to be his number 1 receiver this week?
It's
got to be Stephon Diggs, doesn't it? I mean, John Brown.
Doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be, but you think Brown's got a chance?
Yeah, if he catches some deep balls. I don't know. Are you going Diggs? Then I'll go Brown.
Oh, Diggs, and then I'll put Brown. Why not? Keep it up. That'll be our next pickup. Who has a bigger fantasy game this week, Mike Davis or Duke Johnson? You think it's going to be Mike Davis? I think it's going to be Mike Davis. Who would you flex, Mike Evans or Philip Lindsay?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to take Lindsay on the flex on this one.
You take Lindsay? I'll take Evans. All right. And we got, would you flex DJ Shark or Curtis Samuel?
Ooh, I mean, who's your regular wide receivers at this point?
They have Evans and Fuller in at regular receivers.
Oh, yeah. Then I'm going to go Shark.
Shark over Samuel?
Yep.
Man, that is a tough one. All right, I'll take Samuel.
Yes.
That's a tough one, though, man. That is – dude, Samuel's just been killing it, though. I mean, he got him running in the running back scheme and doing wide receiver plays. So, I mean, you just get the double bonus with him.
Yep.
But, yeah, we were talking about earlier, who do you take, Mike Evans or DJ Shark?
Let's go with Evans on this one.
All right, I think you said Shark earlier, but Evans. I think
See?
Yeah, that is so 50-50. That is tough. Gio Bernard or DeAndre Swift?
Swift.
You go Swift? I'll take Gio on this one.
I mean, that's a smart pick.
I taking Gio.
Me too. I feel like anybody who's played fantasy has been screwed by Bernard one time or another.
Yeah, exactly. You just pick him up just hoping and knowing the potential, and nothing ever how he has just been a bum every time. Oh, Gio Bernard or Duke Johnson, two of your favorites.
I'm Bernard on that one.
You're going Bernard?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, because I'll go Johnson. Where are we at? You're going Gio. I'll go Duke. Perfect. Oh, what else do they have for us? Who scores more fantasy points this week, Rojo or Fournette?
See, they've been giving Fournette the ball more, but I like Mr. Rojo.
I actually like Rojo too. I'm going to write that down. We're both on Rojo. Both on the Rojo tip. Which quarterback would you start, Wentz or Joff this week?
I'm going to go Wentz is playing the Giants. So
Joff is playing the Seahawks, who can't stop anybody.
And they put up numbers. So you play that. Let's go Goff just because it's divisional. So
I don't want to put on my player, but yeah, I think the Seahawks Rams game could be outlandish. That could be damn near 100-point games. So I think I'd go Goff in that situation. Who's going to be the Bears running back Monday night? Any fantasy relevance? No, not until Montgomery comes back, and even then, it's bad. It's just,
you can't.
No fantasy relevance, so it doesn't even matter who they start out. I just know. Not unless you're in like a 14-16 league and you just have the nothing left, and maybe. But I don't think so. Do you think there's any fantasy relevance whatsoever in the backfield for them?
No way.
Yeah, that's just something that I wouldn't even look at. Look elsewhere. Oh, try to get one of those Washington running backs, man. I'll tell you what, McKissick and Gibson, I think they're both going to have games this week. Who do you think puts up more fantasy points?
Gibson.
You think Gibson does it? I agree.
Wishful thinking, but Gibson.
Oh, you have Gibson?
Yeah.
I have no skin in that game, and I still think Gibson as well. So I'm with you on that one. I think you're good. Who has a bigger game this week out there for LA? Is it going to be Woods or Cup?
I always got to go with Woods. I don't know what's up with Cup this year, but this year you're going Woods. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen Cup. I don't watch many of their games, but God dang, I've seen him drop like 5 balls. Like 5. I might have watched 3 minutes of their games total because I just watch it on Red Zone. And how many times do you watch on Red Zone someone dropping the ball? Almost never. Except I've seen Cup do it about 5 times. I cannot.
You just can't with him?
Nope. Something's wrong with him. And I've seen him get lit up in the backfield on something. Normally, he would just take this screen pass and do something amazing with it. And he just, I don't know, bobbled it and got lit up.
Yeah, kind of like Jerry Jeudy out there. I mean, threw it to him 100 times and he dropped 98 of them. It was unbelievable. Does Kalen Ballage have a true revenge game against Miami this week to post back-to-back big fantasy numbers?
Nope. Okay game.
Oh, he has an okay game. Does he reach 15?
No, I'm going under 15.
Under 15. Kalen Ballage. All right, let's do it. You do under, I'll do over. You think he goes under 15 points? I'll do over. Boom, boom, boom. And where we at? Which Minnesota wide receiver has the bigger numbers this week? Is it Thielen or Jeffries?
You know how much I love Justin Jefferson, but I'm still gonna go with Jefferson. I just like him. Whatever.
I think Thielen kind of gets shut down. I don't think Thielen has a game this week. I'm with you.
I like Jefferson. No matter what you say about him, I like him.
What I say about him, I think he's been awesome. I think I even took him over you a couple times when you benched him, if I'm not
mistaken. But I was right on all those.
No.
Yeah, every time you pick Jefferson and I didn't, I've won those. Go back on our stream.
You're probably absolutely right on that. I cannot. Who do you pick this week, Big Ben or Teddy B?
Oh, man, last time I didn't pick Teddy B, he blew up on me. So I prefer that happening, so I'm going to pick Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, man, I think Teddy B's going to be in he's going to be in a battle down there. So I think I got to go with Teddy B. He's going to have to put some points up to keep up with Brady and them. They're going to be upset.
I don't know. Have you watched Tampa's defense? They didn't look great last week, but holy shit, they're a good defense. No, they're like Miami.
But I had two defenses and I needed some players, so I think that's who I dropped for a Wentz. Actually, I dropped the defense, my second defense for Wentz.
Who carries two defenses?
I did for like 2 weeks, but yeah, and because it was because of the player matchups and it worked out. I had Pittsburgh put up like 18, and then I had Tampa Bay put up like 17, and then I had Pittsburgh put up 16. So that's why. I mean, dude, it was it was a necessary thing, and it got me a necessary victory.
I'm just kidding. Like I would not carry two defenses except around bye weeks if you have like a Steelers defense or something. But that's just me.
That actually might have been, I want to pick them up. No, I can't. It was definitely the matchups. But yeah. So yeah, it worked out, and I had two defenses for 3 weeks, and it worked out. 2 weeks, whatever, 2.5 weeks. But yeah, it worked out, and that was what the situation had called for in that predicament. Oh man, so you think Jerry Jeudy's going to have the better game over Tim Patrick? I mean, Jerry Jeudy's got a shoulder injury. Tim Patrick's coming off a hamstring industry. That's funny. Injury. So you just think it's going to be Jerry Jeudy because he's the one who gets the targets?
Yeah, the thing is, when somebody gets targets, that means that's who the quarterback's looking at. How many of those have to be catches before it's like a blow up? What, if they catch 2 of those, it's an amazing game for them? Like, that's the thing. If the quarterback's throwing to them, they like them. And like I said before, there was that Evans game, or Evans playing the first year with Winston, that he dropped so many balls just bouncing off his hands. It was crazy. And now he's like a top receiver in the league. And eventually he turned it around that season because he got the targets. You get the targets, you're going to catch some of those balls eventually.
That's true. Hey, what's up, Christian Coles? I see you out there. Welcome. Good to see you out there. Jake Cruz says, how will Michael Thomas do this week?
Hopefully amazing. Hopefully he puts up like 4,000 points because I need it.
Oh, I think they're getting integrated more and more. I think they want to rest Calvin Kamara as much as they can before the playoffs. And, yeah, I think that equals Michael Thomas downfield. I like it. I like Michael Thomas coming back. They kind of eased him in last week. I think they're going to use him a whole lot more this week. So I like the Michael Thomas start this week.
I mean, if you picked him up, you're just putting him in hoping that he can do something for you. Because if you did a snake draft, he was your first-round pick. Like, so, you're putting him in.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're not sitting your first-round player. Poor Jake Cruz has 2 defenses, and they both suck. Man, might have to drop one and just stream whoever's playing the Jets or something like that, whoever's playing New York. So, that's a rough one. That's no fun. No fun at all. Excellent. And Okay, line set up. I'll probably get my ass kicked. Oh, there you go, JD. Good deal, good deal. Again, anybody who's watching this, check it out. Christian Coles, if you want to. Andy's got it up there a little bit higher up in the chat. And we got a little league going. Of course, totally free. Just go in there, start with $200, and try to general manage the best team you can. And we can see who wins on the most points. Last week, it was Andy by a mile, so we're all out to get Andy this week. Does Dalvin Cook run for more than $150 this week?
157. Wait. So $150, that's a pretty high ask. I say he does one.
Over 200 last week.
I know, but that was last week. And the week before that, he gets 4 touchdowns. I love Dalvin Cook. I got his jersey. Wear it all the time. Like that's my dude. But, 3 weeks in a row just balling out like that is probably –
asking for an injury?
Yeah. I say 137.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm going to go under 150. Under 150.
I say they need him, they want him, and they go for it.
I don't know. With his injury history, you pick whatever you want, but I'm not saying he goes that much.
I'm saying I'm taking the over. I'm saying 3 weeks in a row, they don't care. They just ride that bull till the wheels fall off, and they're going for it. Oh, Kelsey and Waller, we already talked about the wide receivers. You just basically just throw it in the air and pick them, just kind of week by week. You don't have a 3 through 5, or just kind of play or game dependent, matchup dependent.
Yep.
Which tight end do you think has more points this week, Evan Ingram or Logan Thomas?
Probably Ingram.
Who do you think, Ingram or Hooper?
Probably Ingram still.
Really? You like Ingram this week, huh? I think Danielson can throw a few catchable balls.
Yeah, he might be able to. I don't know. Ingram seems to anytime I doubt him, he does well, and anytime I'm high on him, he does poorly. So that's my history with this player.
Oh man, he's played for 2 weeks at a time, and they decided not to do it anymore. That's whatever. I was on the top 5 team. Oh yeah, man! For first time, like I said, for first time in ages, I didn't do my league this year, so that one hurt. Oh, so let's get it in. What's your major prediction of the week? What's going to happen?
My major prediction is that Tom Brady is the number 1 quarterback this week.
Ooh, there you go. That's a big one. Tommy Terrific is number 1. You think Tom Brady goes Brady and has a get-right game? The man never loses 2 in a row, does he?
Well, he does sometimes, but not this time.
Tom Brady, number 1 QB of the week. I like it. My major prediction, I'm going to say that Tua throws 3 or more touchdowns this week. He may even put up a 40. He may put 4 up on him this week. I say Tua throws at least 3 touchdowns, maybe 4. That's my big one.
I'll do maybe 3, 2 possibly. I'll go 2. He gets 2 touchdowns or lower.
You think he gets less, so 2
3 above? Yeah, I'll do the under 3.
Okay, so we'll put Andy under.
We're saying he throws that many. We're not counting rushing touchdowns, all right?
I'm saying touchdowns. They all count for 6 for him. Any kind of touchdown.
Well, then he might get 3. I say 2. He might get 1 rushing. I'll still go under, just because I'll stick with it.
All right, and just since you crushed mine, I'm going to crush yours. I'm going to say Tom Brady isn't even in the top 5.
Ooh.
DJ says isn't in top 5 QBs. Yep, Tom Brady doesn't even make top 5. He's old, he's washed up, and he's going to have to rely on a bunch of dink and donks. I say he does win the game, but he doesn't do it. Yeah, it's not because of his arm or anything great that he does. He won't even be a top 5 in points. He may throw 2 touchdowns to my man Mike Evans, but that'll be about it. Boom, ba-bing. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Who has more points this week, Mike Evans or Antonio Brown?
Mike Evans.
Mike Evans or Godwin?
Godwin.
Godwin?
I think Godwin's the number 1 receiver there this week.
All right. There's another one for you. You got Godwin, and I'll say Evans. Boom, there we have it. All right, let's get the picks in. I said I'd go. We wanted me to go first this week, so I'll get my picks in. Tampa Bay, Carolina, I'm going Tampa Bay. Houston, Cleveland, I'm going Houston. Washington, Detroit, I'm going Washington.
Wait, I don't get to pick at the same time? I just want to go against yours when you're right. I want to do the same shit you do to me.
Okay. Last week, yeah, you just ripped them off and wrote yours, and then I wrote mine. Like, obviously, I wasn't listening to you since I went 12 for 1. 12 for 13. What was that again? Oh, yeah, 12 for 13. I mean, come on.
This is a fantasy football channel, not, cover the spread channel. And let's say who won the fantasy league. I'm just throwing that out there.
Oh, Brady doesn't make top 8. I love it, Jake Cruz. I love it. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so here we are. Let's get you in there. We got Tampa Bay, Carolina. Who you picking? I got Tampa Bay.
I like Tampa Bay too.
Okay, we have Houston, Cleveland. I got Houston.
I'm taking Cleveland on this one.
Cleveland, because you can spell it?
Yep.
And
plus, you always got to go against your division rivals. So, even though I don't like Cleveland.
Washington, Detroit. I got Washington.
I'll take Detroit on this one.
Jacksonville, Green Bay. I got Green Bay.
I got Green Bay too.
Chicken. Philadelphia, New York. I got Philadelphia.
Okay, I'll take New York.
Yeah, that's not smart.
I know, but
Chargers, Miami. I got Miami. I think you're taking the Chargers, aren't you?
Yep.
Of course.
You know it. My boy Herbert gonna put up 10 touchdowns.
Oh, you're gonna get crushed by Miami's defense. Denver, Las Vegas. I got Las Vegas.
I like Las Vegas, but I'll take Denver on this one. Lock with 3 touchdowns.
That's a close one. That's one of my top 5 close games I was going to put up. Buffalo, Arizona. I got Arizona.
I'll go. I like Arizona too. I'm not going to go against Arizona. I wanted to, but I'm just gonna.
Chicken. Seahawks or the Rams? I got the Seahawks. You already know.
I'll take the Seahawks as well.
And we got San Fran, New Orleans. I got New Orleans.
Yep, I'll take New Orleans.
And Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. I got Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh. I heard that Cincinnati was talking shit about them, so not really smart, generally speaking.
No. Baltimore, New England. I got Baltimore.
I'm going to take New England.
And then last but probably least, Minnesota, Chicago. I got Minnesota.
I'll take Minnesota as well because as I always say, Chicago is the worst good team out there.
Oh, yeah, it has been for a long, long time. It has been for a long, long time. They're just not good. Not good. So, yeah, again, for anybody out there that watches this in time, we'll have the top 10 spots. If they're not filled out, go back and check it out. I'll make sure I put it in the description for the Fantasy League. We'll get it in. Well, we got JD and we got a few people out there. If you want to jump in, let's get one for you guys. JD and Jake. Let's see here. Get you in for some picks. We already know who we're picking. We'll get JD and Jake for these 5 games. Who do you think's going to win out of Washington or Detroit? The Chargers or the Dolphins? The Broncos versus Las Vegas? and Buffalo versus Arizona. And Minnesota and Chicago. Those 5 teams. So pick 5. Pick either Washington, Detroit, and then pick either Denver or Las Vegas, then Buffalo or Arizona, or Minnesota or Chicago. And we'll see how you guys fare against the Frootloop's here.
To be fair, you know that I'm terrible at it. DJ's pretty good at it. If I was picking, I would just go with whatever he says.
Oh, don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
Statistically speaking, you would do good at that. But statistically speaking, on our fantasy show, do not listen to DJ. No, I'm just kidding.
Jake Cruz got them all in there. You see, he's gonna try to straight run with us. Period. Let me try to get those. Can let me see. Yeah, that'll be too much. Can you read those off to me here in a second?
Yep.
What Jake Cruz is off to me.
Tampa Bay.
Uh-huh.
Houston.
Okay.
Detroit. Green Bay. New York. Miami. Las Vegas. Arizona. Seattle. New Orleans. Pittsburgh. Baltimore. Chicago.
Nice, Jake Cruz. Got it in there. See how you rank against the Fruit Loops. See how I hold it down. That's awesome. Nicely done.
I would. Hold on. In this trade, I would do that.
Let's see. Detroit, Miami, Denver. JD's got Detroit, Miami, Denver, Buffalo. And then what about the Chicago, Minnesota game?
Chicago.
Detroit, Miami, Denver, Buffalo. Hold on. So that's Jake Cruz. And then read off JD's for me real quick again.
JD's is Detroit, Miami, Denver, Buffalo, and Minnesota.
Nice. See how you guys do against the Fantasy Fruit Loop. All right, let's see here. Who we got? What was the last one? There you go. Got that. Got that. Yeah, Chicago. We got Chicago going. Trade away Duke Johnson and Anderson for Waller and Shepard, PPR. Man, if you need a tight end, Waller is like one of the only top 2 legit tight ends in the game.
Yeah, we said it at the beginning. My perspective is there's really only 3 top tight ends. Everybody else can be streamed, and it's like a steep drop-off. So that's kind of what fantasy is all about, is like the value relative to the other people at that position. So for me, you're basically getting a number 1, 2 weekly tight end. So it's guaranteed to start.
Yeah. Now, is that Anderson, Steven Anderson for the Chargers tight end, or Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver for Carolina?
I think Robbie Anderson.
You don't think it's tight end for tight end, Duke Johnson? Yeah, probably. Yeah. I mean, Shepard's a throwaway. We obviously don't care, but yeah, I mean, giving away a 2B. Basically, you're giving away a B and a C player for an A player. So yeah, I love that. I give that trade an A. I love that. You're getting Waller. He's one of the top 2 tight ends out there. I love it. Can't go bad. Even though that is Robbie Anderson he's talking about, which is a little juicier, but still Robbie Anderson. You can't really. Are you really banking on that many points from any Carolina receivers outside of Samuel?
Well, the key to this that makes it more valuable is that it's PPR. So right. PPR, Waller's getting tons of balls thrown his way every game.
He's the number 1 guy out there. So yeah, he's going to get over 10 a game.
Yeah, and that's 10 points just in catches, not including yards, touchdowns, nothing. So I like Waller for that reason. And like I said, it's not about their value relative to the other players that that you're trading away. It's the value of the position. If you can trade for the number one player at any position for the number, 20 player and a number 30 player at those two different positions, you won that trade because you are getting the top guy in that place because you can only fit people in certain places, and that's where it matters. So maybe you lose 5 points from a wide receiver because you have to put in a different, you're putting in Shepard over Anderson, and you week to week lose 5 points, but you're gaining at the tight end position probably 10 points.
And it's really not that big a drop-off this year from Robbie Anderson to Shepard. Shepard's Danielson's favorite receiver, and Anderson, it's just a mess out there. Teddy B, I don't know. It's more about Samuel and the running backs than it is DJ or Moore or freaking Anderson. It's just tough out there. So, yeah, I think that's an A+. I like that one. I like that one a lot. Will A play Shepard or AB this week, PPR? I'd say in that situation, it's Shepard. Like we said, that's Danielson's basically number one guy. So, I don't know Ingram out there, but, yeah, I'd say Shepard. What do you think?
I like Shepard too, probably just this week. I never in PPR, it's tough with Brady, right? Maybe he picks your guy that week, and maybe he spreads the ball around to everybody.
Right.
And think of all the targets he has there in Tampa. That's a lot of mouths to feed. Like maybe they're like AB going in, like he just balls out of control, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Thielen or AB this week? PPR, man, I do not like Thielen, but I like him more than I like him. Oh, I like him more than I like Antonio Brown. What about you?
Yeah, like we were saying before, I think that Jefferson has the better game in Minnesota. I'll take Thielen still, I think. Because
even as much as they're running it out there, there's just so many mouths to feed in Tampa. You just don't know what's going on. And I don't know, something about that, hearing about Arians out there talking about Mike Evans is open and not getting the ball. I think Mike Evans has a game. And what a lot of people I haven't heard anybody talking about, Mike Evans, one of his games that he balled out for almost 25 fantasy points on was against Carolina. And that's who this week. So, football is a redundant thing, it follows itself. So, there is a great chance that Mike Evans balls out and has one of his bigger games this week. So we shall see. So, yeah, that's pretty much going to nut it up for us. Like I said, anybody that wants to get in on the league, make sure you get up there, check it out. I will put the description, or I will put the link down in the description. So first come, first serve, first 10 in there, we'll get it in. Looks like a couple of people already have their lineup set up. So, yeah. We'll get it in again, and we'll all try to take Andy down. Make sure he's not champion back-to-back weeks.
And this one's a league. So once you join, you're putting in for every week.
Every week from here on out.
Yeah, there is 12 contests. So it might be there might be additional. I'll have to look at the weeks to make sure. But you might have to put in for Monday because I don't see Dalvin Cook and stuff on the list. So it might separate out those games. The the Sunday night and the Monday night games might be separate games. So I'll just have to look at the schedule to be sure. And I'll everybody else should do that too. Sorry. I should have looked into that before I came on, but
that's all good.
So
everybody that wants to be in it, there it is on screen right now for everybody. All you diehards that made it this far, an hour into the stream. This is for you. Going to do it. Everybody on the streams, people come in and see who can come up with the best team week in and week out. So once again, Andy smashed it in points this week. We got a lot of catching up to do. Let's get it done this week. Dalvin Cook can't go for over 200 every week. That's all I got to say. Oh man! So that's gonna do it for us. Thanks for showing up, and we will be back on. We'll be back on Tuesday for another round of some Cobra Kai karate, and then pretty soon it looks like we're gonna be starting maybe on Wednesdays doing the stream for the boys. For all you fans out there watching the boys, Anybody who's not watching it, what are you doing with your lives? Get out there and check it out because it is an amazing series. I haven't even watched season 2 yet because I'm waiting for Andy to catch up. So we're going to start streaming season 1 and get it in. So absolutely get it in. Oh, one more question. What do we got, Ricky? Oh, welcome back, Ricky Candy. Please, one more question. Oh, is this one up here? Swift or Edmonds, assuming Drake doesn't play full PPR. I'm not a huge fan of Swift myself. I mean, usually I'm the guy that's saying Swift all day. I've been high on Swift all year since he's been in. But, man, just a little too much running by committee going on. Now all of a sudden they got Kieran Johnson back in the game. You're giving him goal line. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I'm Chase Edmonds. I can only imagine what Andy's going to be on this one. But
you already know.
I'm already going to agree.
You already know.
It's Chase Edmonds. That's a pretty easy one this week. Chase Edmonds.
Yeah, my dude, Edmonds. See, now this is a good question, right? Tua or Cam? That's a good question. Man, I don't even know how Cam's still playing quarterback.
I was about to, why is that a good question? Just look, have you not seen the thumbnail for this stream?
I know, but you would think that a quarterback in New England would – I don't know. I want to say that Belichick reels it in, says, "Hey, we're gonna win this time," but I don't know. And two is too much of an unknown commodity, or what's the
known more and more every week, and it's going to be a shootout out there.
It's been 2 weeks. Pump the brakes a little bit.
He's gotten better both weeks, and it's going to be it's going to be rookie versus rookie, so he's already going to have a little extra in on it.
If I don't see him, hey, come tomorrow. If I don't see him in your lineup as your quarterback in our league, I'm going to be coming back in here.
Who, Tua?
Yeah, Tua.
It depends on where the money's at. I got to figure out the money situation.
Tua's going to be cheap. Tua's going to be cheap, probably worth. If you believe that he's getting 3-4 touchdowns, he's worth that.
There you go. Then you'll probably see some Tua time up in my league.
All right.
Or in my lineup. Absolutely. All about the Tua time. Miami.
I like Tua better than Cam, but I just think Cam's gonna bounce back, but
with who?
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, Tua all day right there. Even though he's not gonna have gas.
Tua, $24 in this league. $24 for Tua.
Is that pretty cheap for quarterback?
Yeah. Okay. Josh Allen, $39. Aaron Rodgers, $38. Russell Wilson, $38.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Deshaun Watson, 33. Tom Brady, 33. So, I mean, you're talking a big drop-off. That's $14, $10. Oh, I mean, Matthew Stafford's 32. So.
But it's still not putting down to the point. I mean, I'm saying Tua over all these other people. It still doesn't mean I'm saying Tua is going to do better than, say, Aaron Rodgers, who doesn't throw.
Yeah, but it's about value. I don't want to tell you how to play this game, but $24 –
that's another position. I get it.
Yeah. $14 for somewhere else.
Right. That's a lot. And and it could be the same. So I'll have to look at it and we'll see. But everybody who wants in on that, make sure you check it out. Let's see. Again, we'll get that back up for you. Anybody who wants to jump in, make sure you jump in there. Only do it if you can be in it every single week because we don't want to have any open spots. But, just something fun to line up a week if you've never done it before like me. Last week was my first time doing it, and it showed. But, it's good practice to get in there for future leagues to come. Preston is out, but he still has Parker. Yeah, Preston is the number one guy. That is a bummer, but Devontae Parker is actually a better receiver, so he needs to get to know him anyway. You are welcome. Thanks for being here, Rickety Candy. I always appreciate everybody that shows up and spends a little time with the fantasy Fruit Loops, getting it done, getting it in. And, we'll see if we can't continue the reign and keep it going for next week. Oh, man. JD says he's going to whoop you every single week. He's bringing it. He's not scared. Oh, man. All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. And, we'll definitely see everybody back here on Tuesday night for some Cobra Kai Karate. Wish everybody luck and hope everybody gets a win. Be easy, y'all.